101 Whew. Episodes, Dalmatians, percent given in just about everything that we do.
Yeah, obviously.
Man.
Except for Lost in Translation for some of us.
Yeah, friggin' bullshit film that is. But does it feel like I feel rejuvenated? I feel, I don't know. I just, not that I was feeling unjuvenated.
No, I hope not.
But do you know what I mean? It just feels like, I don't know. It feels like finishing the first year of post-secondary, where you've still got a bunch more to go.
Right. Oh,
but it's like, yeah, just what a milestone.
I'm getting like a double. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 kind of gust of wind in our sails. So yeah, it's cool that we're past 100. This is like the next season. This is season 2, but also and specifically for what we're recording today. Again, we're into the James Bond films that, sure, James Bond isn't Shakespeare, but we're into the James Bond films that are, enjoyable to watch, aren't painful to watch, aren't with Roger Moore. Like, everything about what we're doing now, season 2, better James Bond films, this is fun. I'm energetic.
There was a significant chunk of time there where the James Bond films, you'd sit and you'd be watching a James Bond film, and then all of a sudden you got this sort of overwhelming feeling, which is not too dissimilar to the feeling that you have when you think to yourself, was that chicken cooked properly? Just sort of like turning in your stomach, maybe some lower gastro distress type, just badness all around. But we're out of that.
Oh, yeah.
We're into the Pierce Brosnan, at least for us. I mean, all film, and the 007 series is no exception to this, but all film is subjective. But I think I can say for the most part that I speak for both of us when I say that the Pierce Brosnan films have kind of had sort of a Pepto-Bismol effect for us. We're keeping the chicken down now.
Here's the thing. I'm going to build on your metaphor a little bit more. I agree. You spoke for both of us. Couldn't agree more. And I think it's kind of like the analogy of, when you eat raw or, chicken that you're not sure if it was cooked, and say if it was either not cooked chicken or maybe it was like leftover chicken that it was in your fridge and you weren't sure, like, is it still good or not? You ate it. You go, should not have eaten that. And you're kind of feeling queasy as a result. But, there's a bit of a silver lining that you're like, hey, at least that's, maybe I'm puking my brains out, but at least that's one less thing I have to do. I don't have to clean the fridge when I'm done later. That, that's one less thing. Kind of when we watched all these 702 Bond films, the end credits would roll by and it's like, well, I mean, we're one closer to being not crappy. So that's good. So
I got to tell you, normally I track with you pretty well.
Yeah.
But this whole metaphor just became convoluted as shit, and I don't know what's happening anymore. But anyways, 007. If this is your first time listening to a 007 episode from us, we're on a mission. Ironically, conveniently, we are on a mission to discover the quintessential 007 film. All 27, including No Time to Die and the non-Eon 007 films. We watch each film. We rank them based on 8 categories on a scale of 0 to 10. And then we take all of those scores, we average them out, and that gives us a score for the film. We're not necessarily looking for our favorite 007 film. We're just looking for if you can only watch one, which one should it be, right? If there's only one 007 film you can stick in a 2,000-year time capsule, which should, on second thought, don't take up any room in the time capsule with 007. But,
We spent so much time preoccupied if we could do it, but more we should have been asking, should we do this?
Should we do it? Jeff Goldblum. So, yeah, as my convoluted metaphoric friend here alluded to, we are into the Pierce Brosnan films. We've done GoldenEye, which for me was a game changer. It was the best by far, by a full 10%, the best 007 film that I had seen.
Oh, and just to refresh my memory, like overall number one, like even Casino Royale, like it beat it, like everything.
Yeah. So even Casino, the 1970s one,
right? Yes, of course.
Which we weren't counting, which I gave a 7.1, and this got a 7, and GoldenEye got a 7.5. So either way, it was above and beyond the best 007 film I had seen. Didn't fare as well for you, but still definitely a we're out of the woods feeling.
Oh, yeah.
In many ways.
And like, I think for me, it was GoldenEye was like 4th overall. So, you know.
Sure.
Still,
it was still good. It was still, didn't beat out Goldfinger for you.
No.
You know, but anything with gold in it, really, that's what we're learning about ourselves.
Yeah.
So, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. This one,
a title that doesn't make any damn sense until you watch the film. Until you watch the film.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I'm going to say this is the one of maybe all the Bond films that I actually saw as a kid. So I actually had some nostalgic memory, for better or worse, watching this film.
Sure.
I didn't really grow up watching Bond films. Like, I had seen snippets of other ones. I've alluded to it in the past, pieces in here and there. But like, this is the only one where, like, on a movie night, I actually saw this one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. I wasn't in the family per se that was like, I wasn't allowed to watch James Bond films as a kid, but I had an aunt and uncle that were a little more like, they were like the laissez-faire aunt and uncle, and they were like, yeah, like, let's just have some fun, let's watch fun, cool movies and eat popcorn. And anytime Pierce Brosnan did something inappropriate, which was a lot, they'd be like, yeah, you know, what he's doing is wrong, and if you have any questions, just ask your parents. But yeah.
I was rewatching some of the Jim Jeffries comedy specials on Netflix. I don't know if you.
Oh, cool.
Have you seen any of those?
No.
Super vulgar. You'd hate them, but I highly recommend it. And he's talking about celebrities and like sexual harassment, you know, like all the Kevin Spaceys and stuff like that. And there's a moment where he's talking about James Bond and how in real life James Bond is a workplace sexual harassment friggin' liability waiting to happen.
Yes, honestly, that's all I think.
And and he's got a great, and I mean, you know, the delivery is going to be way off here. But he does this great. He does an English accent. He goes, I'm here to see Q. And someone says, actually, you're here to see HR. And like, it was so
that's awesome.
on point. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So let's get into this.
Let's do it.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay.
Plot. Mm-hmm. I gave plot a 7.
Cool.
Which is the same thing I think the same thing I gave it for GoldenEye. You know, I liked the whole I like the whole premise of this. I like that, you know, I think bringing a media mogul into it, and it sophisticated it in an easy to follow way. If that makes sense, right?
Oh,
so instead of just being about like, I got a big gun, I'm going to blow up the whole friggin' world. Like it was, it was more about, it modernized the story in a lot of ways.
Sure.
And it really covers the power of media. Mm-hmm. And also the power of like, not just the power of media, but the fact that we give media power.
Right?
And yeah, so I don't know, just that that this guy is, and this works into the villain a little bit as well, but that he's able to use media to manipulate the entire world. He's able to create his own news to manipulate the entire world, and he essentially doesn't even need to destroy the world, because if he prints the right story, the world will destroy itself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that to me is just super. It was like he was playing the most diabolical game of chess. He was so strategic, and therefore subtle. And yeah, I bought into it. I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. This is something where I don't know where this is going to go. It made the story not super predictable because it was such a fresh approach. So I gave it a 7.
Cool. Yeah. I gave it a 7 as well. Pretty much for the same reasons you said. With the various Bond films we've watched things on a big scale that are threatening the world, and we've seen some things that are a little less relevant as far as, maybe Bond shouldn't be involved with a drug deal on a street corner kind of thing. So this was a Bond level problem and plot. So yeah, a totally global scale, and I think it was kind of profound in its own way. The most powerful weapon is information, and the way information is kind of delivered or misdelivered, or just kind of there's definitely a control aspect there for those in the media power. So I thought it was cool. He's playing both sides. Really isn't truly pushing the envelope as far as what he's doing directly, but he's definitely playing both sides and kind of letting the chaos ensue and profiteering from that. So I thought it was like you said, simple enough to follow. I wasn't confused at any point, but it had some roots and some interesting concepts, and I thought it was worthy of a 7.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Portrayal of Bond. Just like last time, I gave this an 8. I mean, it's Pierce friggin' Brosnan, man. I know there's a lot of Pierce Brosnan 007 haters.
Which as a side note, everyone has haters.
Yeah,
and not everyone loves every actor, but I was surprised with how many people do dislike Pierce Brosnan. I've just had conversations in passing with someone and kind of drop my jaw from time to time when I go, okay, not everyone thinks he's better than Roger Moore or Sean Connery, insert blank.
Sure. But I see the people who say that he's not better than Roger Moore, I don't know where to start with. Like, I don't know how to communicate to you in a non-patronizing manner. But if you tell me that, if you go to argue that Sean Connery is better, there's something to say for being the OG. There's something to say for having built the franchise for, and there is, and I don't have a word for it. I can't place exactly what it is. But there was something about Sean Connery that I don't feel like we've had since. It just, and I don't know what it is. But there was just sort of a bit of a suave kind of, I don't know. He is, Sean Connery in his own ways was spectacular. Creepy AF. But
big time.
But spectacular at the same time. And so
spectacular, and it's just overall, of every 10 things he does, sure, 7 or 8 of them are creepy or inappropriate or just scarring, but he did have his redeeming qualities. Those 1 or 2 things out of 10 where it's like, that's interesting, that's trend setting, that just something about it.
Oh, for sure. But I think we can all agree that if you think Roger Moore is better than Pierce Brosnan, then your mother doesn't love you. And that's like, it's just unfortunate.
Funny enough, we're going on a bit of rabbit hole, but I have to mention this. I just recently had a conversation, it kind of came to a head today, but it's been going on for a while, where a person I know who's a huge James Bond fan, as she knows that I've been going through this series, and she's kind of asked me throughout, what do you think here, what do you think there? And now that we're done Roger Moore, I'm like, yeah, don't like him. He sucks. And the spectrum of the conversation started with she was like, what are you talking about? I can't believe this. To now, today, she's like, the more you talk about it, I do kind of think he's not the best. And I'm like, you've covered, I'm convincing her, I'm bringing her to the light. And I found it very gratifying.
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's a greater service that you can do for her soul. Does she listen to the show? No.
Off and on, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, increasing that is something else you could do for her soul. It's even better than the movie men is better for you than chicken soup. Print that on a shirt. Yeah, but Pierce Brosnan, he's gorgeous. He's rugged. He's by today's terms, he's totally a misogynistic, sexist asshole.
100%.
But that's the character, and he's playing it really well, right? We've reached the point in a lot of ways where James Bond is almost, and we could do a whole episode on the ethics and the morals of James Bond and the character and the message that's being, that's a whole thing in and of itself.
That's a whole series, yeah.
But 007 James Bond is essentially a character from a beer commercial. He really is. He's a fantasy that is being projected onto the stereotypical masculine type demographic. This kind of women are throwing themselves at you. You look good no matter how much of a physical fist fight you've just gotten in. Your hair's still perfect. All of these things. And Pierce Brosnan really embodies that kind of perfectly. And so therefore, for what he's supposed to be, I give him an 8.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's two sides to it. I don't know how much of a rabbit hole I want to go down, but it is sometimes ridiculous at times how ridiculous just it is. It is not realistic in any way, shape, or form, but for what it is, yeah, I gave Pierce Brosnan a 7 out of 10. I appreciate him for what he is. He brings entertainment. He brings kind of a joy to the viewing experience. It wasn't any different with this film. A couple of specific things. There were some things where we're not quite where I'd want to be, maybe from character development. I think there was maybe some potential, and I maybe would have given it a higher score. If this had been the case, he meets up with a past fling, a past romantic fling, and there's some emotional ties there, but it kind of gets cut off right almost before it starts. So it's hard to give it any higher than a 7 for me, but I totally see you having an 8. That's fair. And cool. Just what he did with the role, it was fun. It was fun.
Cool. Villain. So this is down a little bit. Last time we broke records. I gave Sean Bean's Alec a 9.
If you can't break records with Sean Bean, when can you break records?
Exactly, right? So this came down a little bit, but it's still an 8. It's still, okay. The name of the actor is escaping me right now.
Elliot. Actor or the The character.
The actor that plays him.
Pirates of the Caribbean dad.
Yeah.
I'll find it. You keep talking.
Yeah. But so it worked for me because he's got a gimmick. And I feel like a Bond villain needs a gimmick. They need something that makes them not just anybody else, right? They need something that either enables them to go head to head with Bond in a way that other people couldn't, or some real traumatic past thing. This is why they're emotionally or physically scarred in a certain way. With Alec, he was part of MI6, and he was Bond's partner in a lot of ways, and maybe there was some betrayal there, all these things. He's the media mogul. He's the kind of pissy Steve Jobs. And he just, I don't know, it just worked for me. It was again, it was exciting. It was unique. He stood out as a villain. He's a villain that I'll remember versus, we've done 20 of these things. This is the 20th one. And of those 20, there's maybe 5, maybe 6 villains that I can remember, that I could tell you a little bit about right now. But there's like 14 or 15 that I cannot remember for the life of me. Sure. I just don't remember them at all.
Yeah.
And this is one I'll remember. Something that popped into my head while I was watching this, though. It has been far too long, and I'm very upset with how long it's been since I saw any representation of Spectre. Right? Spectre, like, to me, that was just, it was the yin and yang. It was if James Bond was Inspector Gadget, then Dr. Claw, that was Spectre, right? It was the
Sith to the Jedi.
It was the obvious go-to, this friggin' whack-a-mole that we just can't keep down, was Spectre. And it's been, God, it has to be almost, if not 10 films since we've seen Spectre or anything related to Spectre. I don't think we've seen it since that ridiculous death of Blofeld. They kind of killed Blofeld by dropping him down a smokestack.
I don't know if we can even really count that.
No, but I don't think we've seen or heard anything about it since.
Right? No, right.
They just kind of abandoned everything in that moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of a sore spot for me. I want my Spectre. To me, it exhilarates me. It excites me that I know that there is a Bond film on the horizon titled Spectre.
Could just be a coincidence. Like maybe
it could be just a weird, like someone forgot. Someone was like, we need a name that means nothing to any James Bond lore. What should we call it? But my money's on the fact that that's not the case.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But yeah, so I gave it an 8 still.
That's cool. Well, we'll stay tuned. I'm interested to see if it returns and if and when it ever does, what you'll think, if it happens. I was maybe a little bit more hard on scoring the villain. I think I tried to view it as this film as just trying to enjoy it, but then there were times where I was trying to critique it, and I felt like Elliot Carver, who was played by Jonathan Pierce, I think he just came off a little bit too farcical for me. So I gave him a 4 out of 10, and I'm wondering if that was a little bit too hard, because I enjoyed what he did from a plot-wise perspective, but there were just some scenes where I don't think it hurt the film, but just ranking him alone, he was just kind of a little bit more on the corny, kind of cheesy side. Ultimately, like I said, I don't think he hurt the plot, and everything he did, he was very calculated and precise. But I think it was just a little fake and corny at times with just how much power he had. And, he could just do it at the whim of just hitting enter, and then he's updated papers across the world. And it just seemed a little corny, but that's what I gave it.
That's fair. Gadgets.
Here we go.
I gave this a 7. I really liked it. I mean, I don't know how you can't love. I mean, Q's interaction with Bond and the whole gadget sequence is as good as it ever is. The remote control car. I mean, if we talk about nothing else, let's talk about this remote control car.
Please.
And this will tie heavily into, this is going to come up again in a minute when we talk about fights in action.
Sure, yeah.
But the part that I can talk about it strictly in the gadgets category is when he shows the, like, here's your cell phone, and the cell phone controls the car. The cell phone does a bunch of things, right?
Sure.
Like, shock you. It's basically an early smartphone. But Q goes to sort of do a demo for Bond and is like, this is how you operate it, 007. And he like backs it up and like smashes out the taillight on it.
Like very jerky.
It is quite difficult to use, and hands it to Bond. He's like, well, let me try it. And he takes it and is like doing donuts around the friggin' hangar and all this stuff.
All to the 007 theme.
All to the 007 theme. And then he just looks at Q with sort of a smart-ass year-old and out-of-touch Q kind of way. And says, I think we understand each other. And I was like, oh, yeah, man. Like, something about it was just golden. Something about that was like, this is a sexy gadget. This is a gadget that is got so much practicality. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like 007, as opposed to the old days where 007, this may look like your everyday cinder block, but it will also light your cigarette if you're in a fix. Like, and it's like, well, fantastic. But
yeah, like those gadgets where you can think of like maybe one practical application and like if 7 other factors line up for it to be used.
Right. Whereas literally a remote control car. If shit hits the fan,
in so many ways,
may be very, very useful.
Very, yeah.
So I gave gadgets a 7. I was
sure
over the moon.
Heck, even if it's not like a sticky situation, this is prior to Uber Eats days. You can just get your food and deliver it yourself to your door. Like there are so many applications, so many. I gave it a 7. I thought it was great. Very similar to you. Aston Martin is back, A, which is great. B, the remote control aspect is amazing. It also had so many security features, so the car shocked people that touched it, unauthorized people. It was immune to sledgehammer swings. There was a sequence where it was driving it, drops nails to flatten tires of cars pursuing it. Self-inflating tires when its own tires became flat. Throughout the movie, we saw things like fingerprint scanners. Bond's cell phone had some pretty cool features. And yeah, everything about it was fun. I picked up everything gadgets laid down in this one. Of note, another Bond film again. This is 2 in a row where he's driving. The Aston Martin was there, but he was mostly driving a BMW. So I feel like BMW got in on like some advertising deal with the Bond films, and they just took a boatload of cash. And said, sure, we'll put your BMW in here, which is fine. I get it. You got to make money as a film, but it's still like, it's okay that he's driving a BMW, but I feel like he should be driving an Aston Martin more often anyway. But
cool.
Maybe a day will return where that happens. Maybe that'll happen.
One can only hope. Fights in action. So this also got a 7.
Okay.
Super action-packed opening scene.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Just high energy. Okay, like it opens up and we just jump right into it.
Nothing says a good fight and action sequence like a terrorist arms bazaar in Russia.
Exactly. You know, the perfect way to start a morning, as my grandmother used to say.
The best part of waking up.
Finish it.
Is a Russian arms bazaar.
There you go. Yeah. You know what? But again, what this comes down to for me, that whole sequence of him lying in the back seat with the car chase in the parking garage.
Yep.
Was like, the scene ended, and that's when I realized how far forward I was sitting on the couch.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you
like, I was leaning like, in with excitement?
Straight up, like you're legit, like physically. Oh, yeah. That was a thing. That's cool.
Yeah. Like physically, I had moved forward and was increasingly moving forward and getting like sweaty palms and stuff.
Oh.
Excitement during this scene, and then the scene ended, and I'm like, "What the hell am I doing over here? Like,
what am I doing, leaning on the TV screen?"
I had to migrate. Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, gave it a 7. Very happy.
Very cool. Okay, I was exactly the same. I gave it a 7 as well. Solid, within the realm of modern day intensity and entertainment as far as action sequences go. For me, less CGI, obvious. And there were some scenes in GoldenEye that just for me, kind of were like a bit of a sore thumb that didn't age quite as well. For this film, not any sequences like that. I whatever they did, I was okay with at the various points. It was a little corny at times, the 90s variety of corny of action films. So, like you have a car crashing into a fireworks cart and then, the villain blows up or the henchman blows up. So there are little things that it kind of leaned into for the time and the era, but it's still solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Right. What do we got? Bond
we got
Girl.
the Bee Gees next. BG, Bond Girl.
Yeah, I give this a 6, which is above average. I'm considering the Bond Girl. I'm gapping on her name, but the ex-lover, wife
Paris
of
Carver.
Elliot. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, really, that's the one he loved. That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as Bond can love a woman, yes.
Yeah, and I think as much as the ruthless slaughtering of her provided great motivation for Bond, we didn't get enough time with her.
No.
To really, I think she was killed off too soon. I just didn't care enough. I was like, oh yeah, like that's brutal. That's cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, it wasn't like a great end of the film sacrifice or loss. It was kind of like halfway into the movie that she dies, and we'd only seen her a handful of times, and so I was like,
Right.
So you married a creepy old sugar daddy, but your life seems like, I don't know. Like I just didn't sympathize with her enough.
Sure.
So I gave her a 6.
That's fair. I gave it a 4 out of 10. I kind of did a bit of a twofer. I did count her, Paris Carver, and Wei Lin, the other agent. I kind of counted them both as Bond girls. Paris Carver, I feel like you're right, significantly was more of a Bond girl just because Bond, loved her, and her murder kind of propelled or pushed forward the plot. But yeah, she, I don't have a number in front of me, but it feels like she maybe had like 3 minutes of screen time. Like she really wasn't there a lot. Wei Lin, so the other agent that he does spend more time with, and obviously less chemistry just because there's no like a past medical flame with them, or not medical, romantic. I don't know why I said medical. It was a decent pairing with Bond. She kind of was a good match for him, kind of was independent, self-sufficient. She worked alone, but they did kind of team up at times. So overall I gave it a 4 out of 10. Not because they were bad, but just the romantic past love flame really didn't get much screen time. And Wei Lin, they kind of had some good mojo, but again, really it wasn't based on much like emotional, strong storylines. So I just kind of was a little below average for me.
Okay. Supporting characters.
Okay.
I gave this an 8, which is really high. But is also down a little bit from what I gave supporting characters last time. And I think the only difference being I didn't get the same level of... I was just less taken with M this time.
Sure.
Judi Dench is still wonderful. Is still my favorite portrayal of M. But just M, M really, with her whole sass and fighting back with 007 in GoldenEye, that really caught me off guard, and that really intrigued me. And I'm like, ooh, like she's really going to go toe to toe and give him a run for his money. And yeah, she's got a couple of quirks that she, shoots at him in this one, but it just didn't. It was a lot less memorable. Q's in this again, like the Q that we know, the Q that we love.
Yep.
And again, I feel that egg timer kind of running out. I don't know if this is the last time I'll see him. I don't know. I know that at some point coming up, John Cleese becomes M or Q.
Right. Q. Yep.
Alphabet's hard.
Maybe he does become M for an episode.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? And I just don't know. There's two things I don't know.
Sure.
One
in the whole world, only two things.
Only two things. These are the last two. Once I have these, I will be able to finish my book series.
I know everything.
Which is basically a superior version of the encyclopedia. But so the two things that I don't know surrounding Q is when that happens. I don't know when the actor that we have now, shoves off.
Oh.
And I don't know if they are going to acknowledge it or pretend that it didn't happen. Right? Like when the actor who plays M changes, we acknowledge it in the films. We go, "Oh, your predecessor. Yes. Your predecessor kept cognac in the top drawer, which is, I prefer bourbon," or whatever it is, right? We acknowledge that. And I'm hoping we acknowledge it. I'm hoping when cues change, I hope the character, not just the actor, I hope the character dies. And I hope that, because like what a great opportunity. We've kind of had this cat and mouse sibling rivalry, mentor-mentee kind of relationship with Bond and Q all these years. And so I hope that it's kind of like this, like we use it as an opportunity for a sad emotional moment for Bond. I think that would be really great. I'll be a little miffed if it's just like, "Oh, Q, how's it going?" And now all of a sudden it's John Cleese, and So I don't know. We'll see. But those are the two things I don't know. I gave it a 7. I gave it an 8. Could have been worse. Could have been better. I just felt that some of the M stuff was lacking a little bit this time. And what do we do? Like now that Felix got married, his wife is dead. He had his wisdom teeth out. Now he doesn't matter. Like where's Felix is not a thing anymore. All right. I just gotten on board with, it took me 18, 19 films to get on board with Felix.
Yeah.
The hell? Where is he?
But yeah.
All right.
I give it a 6 out of 10. Supporting characters.
Got claws.
On Q's merit alone, I probably gave it like a 7 or 8. And somewhere else I gave like probably a negative number. I'll get to that. But Q was so brilliant. So for those listening, obviously it was so awesome. James Bond is at the airport, and up to this point we haven't seen, the traditional here's Q going through the lab. Bond shows up at the Avis car rental station, and the agent who comes up is Q in like a Avis uniform, and I was like, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And goes through everything kind of like an insurance agent, and like, I'm assuming you'll need, the usual damage insurance and this insurance, and, ends up like, please, try and bring it back in good condition, 007.
Oh, grow up, 007.
Yeah. Everything about that sequence I loved. I loved him is like the mock Avis car rental agent. Just made it for me. Where I think it got a negative mark, everything else was just kind of blah for me. There's this Wade dude who's, I don't know if he's CIA or FBI or whatever he is.
I guess CIA. He was in GoldenEye too, right?
He was in GoldenEye, so I guess he's kind of
over him.
I was over him like before he even showed up. So he's a recurring character now, I guess. And I feel like he's kind of a rewrite replacement for Felix Leiter, which I'm not, which I don't like. I don't like Wade. I want Felix back. So
the only guy worse than this guy is the stupid hillbilly cop sheriff that kept showing up like 2 or 3 times. Why did he exist?
Which spoiler alert, I'm going to pop the bubble now. That guy does not have like a modern day rendition. Like
good.
Q, like you said, he's probably going to close off pretty soon. We know that. And, M had a newer rendition with Judi Dench. And, Felix Leiter, we'll see he comes back. But hillbilly, redneck, racist, scumbag sheriff, thankfully, just stays back in the 60s.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall supporting characters.
I just
got
don't
a
get
6.
it. I just didn't understand. Like, and then he shows up coincidentally in another country, and
like
he's just
Thailand or something.
Racist, ignorant, and like what?
Why? Like, what purpose do you serve in the advancement of this story? Like, maybe you get a couple cheap laughs from people just laughing at you, but again, like it just added nothing to me.
Yeah.
Again,
total
why
bogus.
I'm so happy I'm done with those films. So supporting characters, gave it a 6 out of 10. Did you catch the seedling of a star early on in this film? He's this modern day star, but he was just a side character, random in this film.
I don't think so.
So the beginning, where the ship that sinks, the HMS Devonshire, we see some. Do you remember who played leading seaman?
That's a weird question. No, I don't.
No, nor should you. But I did notice it. This is the only time I noticed it when I watched it the other day. I'm like, I paused the screen and rewound it with my wife. I'm like, that looks like Gerard Butler. And it was Gerard Butler. He had like a line, and he said to the captain, like, it was something like a one line, and then that's all he had. But he's like, yeah, incoming missile 20 meters or something. And then that was it. And just, it was a real glance. I'm like, that dude looks like Gerard Butler. Looked up the IMDb. It was Gerard Butler.
Wow.
So, I think it was like his second official film credit.
Right, so he's a nobody at this point. Like he's just showing up as an extra.
Yes, he paid to be on that film.
Right, he wasn't friends with the president at this point.
Yeah.
Final category, Bond song.
Yes.
A category that I've given a lot of hate to, pretty much ever since Live and Let Die.
That Live and Let Die ruined all the other songs for you.
I gave this a 7.
Whoa.
So still could have been higher.
Sure.
But you know what? It was a little more memorable. Sheryl Crow performs it, which is kind of like a blast from the 90s. Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't just the song itself. The sequence, so refreshing. Instead of just like, mind you, we get, naked silhouettes and whatever else, but this like X-ray thing that they do. They did this whole sequence where like half of the stuff was X-ray of guns shooting bullets, and like all of this really cool, fun, captivating, not just, it's more of the same, let's go get popcorn. There was actually someone was like, what if? No, hear me out. What if we don't just rinse and repeat this time?
Yeah.
And someone was like, okay, Jerry, fine. And yeah, and I think it paid off. So I gave this a 7. I was really genuinely surprised. And honestly, man, Tomorrow Never Dies is a song that I may even find its way into my Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is good. It's got kind of a secrecy, but also sexy kind of feel to it. And those both are important components, I feel like, in a good Bond song. So I give it a 7.
Right. No, absolutely. That's cool. I gave it a bit lower, and I'm looking at it again. I rank these immediately after I watched the film, having a few nights to sleep on it now. I wonder if I was a bit difficult or scrutinized it a little too much. I gave it below average, but just barely below. I gave it a 4 out of 10. Again, it had the appropriate tone, the appropriate feel, so led up to a good, it built up the kind of the atmosphere leading into this film, so it did its job. Maybe a little too cyber heavy in the montage and graphics, but maybe that's just appropriate for the time and the era.
It was a movie about digital media and about information and
yeah.
I don't know, man. You got to start sleeping on this shit.
The opening scene, though, that led to this song, but the opening action sequence leading into this song obviously was dope. All the music throughout the film, and I loved the 007 theme actually used in sequences and when Bond is like remote controlling the car. Other than that, the soundtrack was phenomenal. So
agreed.
Very good. I have some zingers.
So do I. Actually have one written down this time too, and I don't normally participate.
No. That's usually a me thing, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
So these two are like I've just known because again I've seen this when I was a kid, so I'm more familiar with some of the lines in this film. So these two I knew they were coming, so I poked the wife. I'm like, get ready for this one, like buckle up, like it's coming, pay attention. So probably I'll go with the weaker one first. I love the sequence where Moneypenny's on the phone with Bond. And kind of like a teenage girl on the phone from the 80s. She's like just flirting with him and just kind of giggling. And then as soon as the phone call is done, like she turns around and M is just gloating there looking pissed. And Moneypenny's
the annoyed
like...
parent.
Yeah, exactly. And Moneypenny's like, don't ask. And Q's like, don't tell.
Yeah, that was
absolutely
good. That was good.
Just like boom, 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 tit for tat. Loved it.
Yeah.
My favorite one-liner, maybe of all the Pierce Brosnan, but for sure of this film, loved this. So there's just an action sequence that finished. They're in a newspaper factory.
Yeah,
Bond
this is the one I have written down.
Is this the one you've written? Oh, I love that you wrote this down. They're fighting each other. Bond throws a henchman into like a conveyor belt with newspapers. So like literally this printing press thing. Correct. Yeah. And literally, like, this henchman's blood is just splattered all over the pages of these newspapers, and they're flying in the air. And Bond, without missing a beat, just goes, "They'll print anything these days."
Yeah. Oh,
I love gosh. That.
And it's so... And what I love about this line, particularly, not only is that it's quirky and witty and whatever, this is one of the first times that we get one of these lines, and nobody else is around to hear it.
Like, that's
normally
true.
He says something like this and I'm thinking, oh yeah, you're trying to get in her pants, or oh, you're trying to show off in front of your buddy. He just did this one for him. It was just a self-satisfying one-liner that, he was like monologuing to himself. Yeah, I was like, what a freaking ball of cheese.
You totally know, like, when he was off camera, he wrote it down as like, yeah, I'm saving that one for later, boy.
Save that, right? Okay, say that one again next time someone's around. Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I will say this one more, because there was one more, not as good as these two, but I thought it was funny. When Carver, the main villain, who's a media mogul, has Bond captured, and he's going on, like, we're going to torture your ass, and we're gonna hurt you and torture you. And Bond just goes in there like a dagger in the side and goes, "I thought watching one of your TV shows was torture enough."
Which is just like it's just a low blow. Like if your thing is news and whatever else, that's like, there's things you don't poke at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I take all my scores and I tally them up, I get a resounding 7.25.
Wow.
Which I would probably round up to 7.3.
Sure.
Which places it not quite as good as GoldenEye, but a solid second place. Still, leaps and bounds, more exciting, more interesting, more watchable than most of what I've seen. Just a couple of things, I think really what it comes down to is a villain, right? I think that's what edged out this one when it came to GoldenEye was Sean Bean. Just made that one a little bit better. Had this one had Sean Bean and the music that I liked better and the stuff with the car, then I think this one would be the clear winner. But the absence of Sean Bean or the absence of as strong of a villain just knocked it down a little bit. Still a super solid entry.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I gave it a 5.75. So on my scale, that's good for third best. And,
that beats out GoldenEye?
I'm okay with that. What's that?
Did it beat out GoldenEye?
No. Actually, 5.7. It did. GoldenEye was 5.5. Yeah.
Wow. So this is a more quintessential Bond film to you than GoldenEye.
For sure. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think some nostalgia played into it big time.
Oh, sure. Which is hey, that's part of it though.
It's part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, interesting. Cool. Ask the dreaded question, sir. Ask it.
Before I ask it, actually, there's 3 cool things I want to mention about this film that I looked up, and it's on the internet, so it has to be true.
Just like that thing about me.
The first is this film was quite financially successful. Apparently, the MGM threw a lot of money into it. Apparently, it was released around the time that some of its stocks went public, and they wanted to kind of continue the roller coaster that was from GoldenEye, so they really kind of wanted to cash cow this thing. And it was financially successful. It was the 4th highest grossing film of 97, but it made the unfortunate mistake of opening the exact same day as Titanic, which not only was the highest grossing film of 97, but like one of the highest grossing films of all time, one of the most lucrative films of all time. It's just going up against Goliath. So, I mean, Tomorrow Never Dies was not a failure by any means, but it's just like, oh, maybe we should have postponed or jumped up the release date just to go against that giant. But I guess we're all experts when it comes to hindsight.
I mean, essentially, that's like showing up for male model tryouts, and the other guy waiting in the waiting room is Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
right.
You can stick around and walk the catwalk anyways. But I mean, you might as well
don't bother.
Leave and go get your fat ass a frappuccino because you're not. This is not your day.
Just pull a Felix Leiter from GoldenEye or Goldfinger and just go to the nearest KFC. Don't even bother.
Don't even show up. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Interesting point number 2. According to Pierce Brosnan, he went on record saying apparently Monica Bellucci was considered for the role of Bond girl, but according to Pierce Brosnan, quote unquote, the fool said no. So she was not the Bond girl, but we'll have to keep our eye out to see if she ever returns as a potential Bond character.
That's an arrogant statement.
Which one?
The fool said no. Like,
oh yeah.
Is he saying because of what the Bond franchise is, or because she passed up the opportunity to roll around in the sheets with him? Like, what?
No,
what is he getting at?
So he's getting at, I guess she tried out for the role. They chose someone else. So she's saying the fools passed up on this great actor.
Okay. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, all right.
Yep. Last point. Apparently, Anthony Hopkins was also considered again for the role of the villain, and he was considered in GoldenEye as well.
damn it, just do it.
He apparently this time he declined because he was working on The Mask of Zorro.
Huh.
So,
and we all know how that turned out.
I don't know if I've seen it, but
ugh.
Yeah.
It's like Sean Connery turning down Lord of the Rings to do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I just don't get the script. So there's a ring, right? And he wants to destroy it. But at what point do I pressure the girl into bed?
Sorry, are you making fun? Like, was he actually offered a Lord of the Rings role?
Oh yeah, he was almost Gandalf.
No.
Yeah. Sean Connery was supposed to be Gandalf.
So okay,
and was given the script for Lord of the Rings and turned it down because I quote, he didn't get it. He didn't get the Lord. He didn't understand it. He didn't think it was made any sense.
Sometimes things work out for the better. I mean, what a foolish business decision on his part. But points like Sir Ian McKellen, A1 gold, perfect Gandalf. Sean Connery, no, I don't. I think
Frodo Baggins. A wizard is never early, nor is he ever late. He arrives exactly when he means to.
Have you seen Moneypenny?
Now take off your clothes and get under the sheets.
No, exactly. He should not be in the. I'm glad the world worked out the way it did.
Yes.
Where do you think Tomorrow Never Dies ranks on the tomato meter of all the current 26 top 10?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I was surprised by this. It's in the bottom tier.
Wow, but you said okay. I've lost all hope because you just finished telling me that this thing performed well financially.
It did.
So,
but apparently,
up means down and left means right. Okay, fine. Bottom. What do I have left in the bottom 10?
In the bottom 10, you've got
bottom 6, I guess.
Yeah, bottom 6. Yeah, you've got 21 and 22.
Oh gosh. I don't know if it makes a difference. 21.
Yeah, 21. It is 21. It got 57%.
Wow. Wait, whoa. What was the score you gave this movie?
5.75.
Are you you've got some sort of like psychological connection with the tomatoes.
I control all forms of media, like the villain.
Yeah, Elliot. That's what I'm going to call you from now on.
You should.
I say Elliot, and I just think of the moose. So
I think of E.T. Elliot.
Yeah, that too. Elliot. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you dearly for listening. This is 101. You're on the other side of the molehill. Mm-hmm. You are, we're on the second set of 100 episodes. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. If you've listened to every episode and up until now, you've got Pete and I beat. Good for you.
Technically, we've listened to every episode while we've recorded it.
Yeah, we listened to every episode. Well, and then I have to edit them and
then
we listen. I listen to the show always sort of as like a research kind of type thing. What worked, what didn't work, why did that episode feel so good?
True.
Why did that episode not feel so good? What can we do differently?
Right. Yeah. But regardless, thank you for listening, the listener.
Yes, thank you, listener, for listening. It means a lot. If you want to get in touch with us or follow us or have more connection with us, I can't think of any ways for you to go about that. Can you think of anything, Peter?
So if you want to get in contact with us, our home addresses are follow the links below.
Sesame Street.
Follow the links below on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please like, follow, subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also check out our Patreon page below, our merchandise page below, if you feel like supporting the show, helping us pay for the electricity bill, or helping us grow the show. If you're not at that level of support, or even if you are currently at that level of support, Also, just give us a like and a comment. We really appreciate hearing from you on the various social media forums. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, give us a good rate and review.
I wonder what the apartment above Mr. Hooper's store looks like. Like, you know, it's still close enough to... Because you don't want to... Like, Oscar's trash can's not very big. Big Bird's nest is rather large, but there's not a lot of shelter options. And Mr. Hooper's store always seemed like a really friendly place.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've got some
research
research to do. Yeah.
Okay.
I might be moving. All right.